Today, I will be uncovering my top mistakes as an entrepreneur. I'm Zeus or Daz, a work-from-home dad, entrepreneur, and marketer who's built multiple businesses from scratch, hit over 200 million views across all platforms, and helped dozens of small businesses grow using digital marketing. But none of that happened without making some mistakes. Honestly, a lot of mistakes. And if I'm being real, most of the mistakes I made as an entrepreneur were things I didn't even realize I was doing wrong. Some of them cost me time, some cost me money, and some of them, they slowed down years of progress. So today I want to walk you through the biggest ones, not from a place of I figured it all out, but from the perspective of someone who had to learn everything the hard way. The first mistake was building without a blueprint. I used to think that entrepreneurship was all about hustle, improvisation, and figuring things out on the fly. So I did everything myself: design, clients, filming, editing, sales, marketing. And even though that sounds impressive, it was the perfect recipe for burnout. I'd wake up excited, get overwhelmed, switch tasks 10 times, and end the day feeling like I worked nonstop but accomplished nothing. The mistake wasn't that I was trying hard, it's that I wasn't building with a roadmap. Once I slowed down, documented my processes, automated mundane tasks using AI, and actually treated my business like a system, everything projected upwards. The second mistake, underestimating boring problems. I spent years perfecting content, storytelling, client results, but completely ignored the boring things such as tracking finances, fees, tax planning, asset allocation, stuff most entrepreneurs treat like background noise, until one day I realized this was one of the most expensive mistakes I had ever made. Which brings me to today's sponsor, Mezzi. I reached a point where I had money in different places. My 401k from a past job, a Roth IRA, my brokerage account, old investments I had forgot about, and I made the common mistake of thinking, I'll figure it out later, except later never came. My advisor at the time could only see a fraction of my accounts. So every time I asked for actual strategy, asset allocation, tax loss, harvesting, diversification, the answer was always, let me get back to you next week, or I can't advise on accounts I don't manage. That's when I realized the mistake wasn't just not knowing, it was paying thousands to someone who didn't even have the full picture. That's why I started using Mezzi, an AI-powered registered investment advisor that gives professional level portfolio analysis without needing to move my assets or schedule calls. I connected my accounts through Plaid, and immediately it showed me things I honestly would have never caught. Hidden concentration risk across accounts, overlapping funds, fee reduction opportunities, potential tax optimizations. Individual results may vary, but what impressed me the most was I could ask Mezzi a complex question at 11 p.m. and get a full breakdown instantly. Something an advisor would take days to respond to. For me, Mezzi became that second pair of eyes I didn't know I needed, not someone to take over, but someone to validate decisions, so I'm not blindly guessing with my future. If you want to try it out, you can use my link below. This is a paid partnership with Mezzi. I am compensated by Mezzi. Individual results may vary. Now back to the video. Third mistake was not respecting the long game. For a long time, I genuinely believed success came from doing everything faster. Faster videos, faster decisions, faster launches. And look, speed is important in the beginning. You need those reps, you need that momentum, and you need to find your direction. But speed without direction, that's just chaos with extra steps. What actually moved the needle for me was slowing down, building depth, and focusing on serving the audience or the client right in front of me. Consistency beats hustle, and impact will always matter more than speed. The fourth mistake was taking myself too seriously. For a long time, I treated entrepreneurship like every decision was life or death. Every edit had to be perfect. Every client project had to impress. Every little thing felt like it would make or break my entire future. But here's the truth I learned the hard way. The things we stress over today are never the things we remember later. When I picture myself at the end of my life looking back, I'm not thinking, man, I should have added that extra clip to the video, or I wish I answered that client email faster. Not me. For me, it's, did I spend enough time with the people I love? Was I a good dad? A good husband? Did I build a business that gave me freedom and not stress? And that mindset changed the way I build everything now. It shaped the kind of business I want, which is flexible timelines, working from home, being able to tag team with my wife so she gets moments to herself and I get moments to create, edit, and be present with my kids. And when you understand what really matters, you stop forcing yourself into a business model that doesn't fit the life you want. That one shift alone can save you years. The fifth mistake was avoiding the hard conversations. This one hurt the most, honestly, because it followed me for years. I used to avoid uncomfortable conversations and kind of still do, like the plague. Pricing increases, setting boundaries with brands, saying no, asking for clarity, or even correcting a client when they were the ones who messed something up. I told myself I was keeping the peace, but really, I was just scared of conflict. And here's the truth. I learned the hard way. The longer you avoid a hard conversation, the more expensive it becomes. I've had months where I undercharged because I didn't want to raise my rates and have that uncomfortable conversation. I've had clients ask for one more revision knowing it was the fifth one. I've had projects drag on way longer than they should have, simply because I didn't communicate expectations up front. But the worst part wasn't the time or the money, it was the resentment. You start feeling drained, burnt out, and unappreciated, all because you didn't speak up early. Once I finally learned to set fair boundaries, communicate clearly, and be upfront about expectations, my stress dropped, my work quality improved, and the clients who respected me stayed, while the ones who didn't, well, they filtered themselves out on their own. Hard conversations don't push good clients away, they push the wrong clients away. And that's one of the most valuable lessons you can learn as a business owner. Every mistake I shared today came from one realization. I was focused on building a better future, but I wasn't preparing myself to live it. When you're a parent, an entrepreneur, a spouse, your time is split, your priorities shift, and your business has to evolve with your life. Your systems, your habits, your boundaries, those are what create the freedom you're really chasing. If even one of these lessons helps you avoid a setback I've lived through, then every failure I made was worth it. If you're building a business and a family at the same time, I'm right there with you. It's not easy, but it's 1000% possible. And if you want more videos just like this with actual strategies, business ideas, and behind the scenes from a real work from home dad, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button. We're on the mission to hit 100k subscribers, so drop a like, subscribe, and join the journey. This is Zeus or Daz, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.